Dude, there was a ton of one more times. So many over at Formula Drift St. Louis. Here today we have the battle between Fredrik Aasbo and Simon Olsen, these two Vikings from Norway. We're going to check out their battle and break it all down today on The Breakdown.
Please. I'm not razzing.
Obviously, Aasbo is a well-respected driver when it comes to FD, but Olsen's coming up, man. He is definitely making a name for himself. He's doing really good out there. He had a program before in FD, but he's really taken off being on Odi Bacci's team now. Aasbo does the Aasbo does the initiation, goes through outer zone 1. Here's a transition. Oh, a little bobble there by Olsen. Takes a little bit more of a shallower line. Aasbo fills out all of outer zone 3. Really good job. Perfect. Right where it needs to be. Now let's check out the replay of that.
Spotter stand started to thin out. We could hear Ron more clearly every single battle.
You can see gets into outer zone 1. It's exactly what the judges want to see. Olsen's doing a good job proximity. Maybe not as deep into outer zone 1. Aasbo looks like he came out of outer zone 1 a little bit early. Here comes a transition. You can see Olsen compromises a little bit, takes a little bit more of a shallower line, allows him a lot more of a shallower line. That's a big deduction there for sure. Throttles back up, gets into position again. Aasbo's doing what he needs to be doing. Does the transition, fills out all of outer zone 4. Here's the other replay from the other camera angle. See, nice and deep into outer zone 1. Definitely like that. Olsen's there. Here comes the transition, and that's where you can see a huge correction. He took the inside line, cut the lawn. No good. Here comes the other transition going in. Aasbo at this point, and for me, Aasbo has the advantage here, clearly.
Let's alternate positions here. Simon Olsen.
Alright, so now we're going to turn him around, and we're going to see Olsen in the lead, Aasbo in the chase.
Those outside zones, that chase position is very difficult, just given, you know, the skill level and elevation right now. So Simon Olsen, he's going to lead.
Olsen gets in. Oh, a lot of smoke. Can't really see much. Here comes the transition. Good surge. Olsen doing a good job in the lead here. Fills all of outer zone 3. Here comes the transition. Aasbo giving a little bit of distance there. A little bit uncharacteristic from Aasbo when it comes to that.
But he gave it the old Norwegian try. Skull. There we go. So
see how this replay goes. See Olsen initiates. He's in outer zone 1. I don't know if he's as deep as Aasbo was. Aasbo, proximity's good. Maybe not as deep as we would like him to be. You can see he's definitely doing a compromise. Trying to stay there a little bit. Lunging. Here comes a transition. Aasbo does get into outer zone 2, so that is definitely different than Olsen, obviously. Compromises a little bit there, Aasbo. Gets back in line again. Again, these are all things that the judges are going to be looking at. Olsen doing a really good job in outer zone 3, but Aasbo's right there. His shadow. Here comes the transition. Let's see how Aasbo times it. Comes off. Gives him some space. Transitions through. Maybe not as calculated as we would want it to be, but then I think that transition is where we ended up getting that space that I wasn't too happy with when it came to that last outer zone. You can see Aasbo getting close. Olsen doing a good job in the lead here. Now, all right, just from what I'm seeing, I feel like Olsen. I feel like Aasbo should have won this. So let's see what they say here.
That points lead back from Matt Field.
Yeah, I feel like the correction of that outer zone 2 from Olsen was just too big of an issue. Transition comes in, you can see right here, this is the biggest error that I see. I don't know if they're going to weigh into that. I know that there was a lot of one more time, so I'm trying to figure out why.
Gives up a lot in the chase.
Gives up a lot. Olsen definitely gives up. It leaves a lot of room on the table there.
So then we revert and take a look at
the transition. I don't know. I mean, I can see how obviously the proximity here in outer zone 2 is a lot better on Olsen's case, but you can see, I don't know, maybe if Aasbo just timed this transition incorrectly and gave him too much space to get away. You can see here, Aasbo's getting ready. You can see he's backing up a little bit to give him space, but I guess he just didn't time that correctly. And this is where the gap starts to form. Stretches him, look at that. It's a lot. I don't know if that, but I don't know if that was as bad as Olsen cutting the line. I don't know.
That I got everything perfect.
I don't know.
Runs look fairly
but that's like I said, like I've always said before on the breakdown, this is why we have 3 judges that are judging things from their perspective, and we got to respect it. One more time. So, in this case, Robbie Nishida was on the same boat as me. I think Aasbo won this. I think the error that Simon Olsen made in Outer Zone 2 was way greater than anything Aasbo did. But, again, that's why we have 3 judges. Wow, really? Chris Yule thought Olsen won?
Olsen, we are split across the board. Lontaine has the head.
So there you have 3 judges, 3 completely different ways of looking at it. One of them went one more time, one of them agreed with Aasbo, and one of them thought Olsen won. I have nothing against Olsen. I don't think he won this battle.
And Ryan Lontaine, you said,
let's see what they explain. Maybe there's an explanation here, and we'll see what they say.
So again, split decision across the board. Ryan, what do you?
Now Ryan Lontaine is going to go into an explanation.
The biggest thing that I saw, and Chris was the one that really, I think, took this to heart the most by going with Olsen, is that Aasbo left outside zone 1 very early.
So Aasbo left outside zone 1 early. Yeah, he did, and I did point that out, but. Or at least I think I did, but I just don't think that error was as bad as Olsen cutting the line in outer zone 2. I mean, it was an extensive cut.
And was left foot breaking through it as well. Olsen had nowhere to go in the chase position, and that really...
Left foot breaking in outer zone 1.
Made him miss outside zone number 2.
Is that true? Let's go back and look. Let's go back and look. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. He left foot braked? Let's look. Let's see. So this is Aasbo over here.
Well, I'm going to try to split my brain here and see if I can just more.
Left foot braked, but the lights aren't on.
Focus on.
I mean,
the chase runs.
I don't know, man. Again, nothing against Olsen. Nothing against Yule either for thinking, but again, I don't agree with this call. I think Olsen won. But hey, like I said, that's why we got judges. That's why we do this. And there was this completely split decision, and you can see right there. One more time, one of them went with Aasbo and the other one went with Olsen. All right, so let's go to the other battle that we have. All right, now this is
once again
the one more time battle of Aasbo and Olsen. All right. Now, I thought Aasbo won the first one, but one of the judges thought one more time. The other one thought Olsen won. One of them thought that Aasbo won. So
another little level
here we are again doing it.
Keeps getting better and better, peaking at the right time.
Now again, I don't understand it. They're looking at it differently. But you got to respect the judge's call. You know what I mean? There's 3 of them up there. It's not like all of them are just unanimously picking. You know, there's indecisiveness sometimes in that. That's why you have the 3 judges.
And he's going to be tough to beat, but Simon Olsen.
All right, here we go.
He can take Aasbo out.
The first half of the one more time battle between Aasbo and Olsen.
Are those championship contenders such as Chelsea Nova, and again notably Hatfield. Here we go to one more time battle between.
Aasbo goes in, initiates. Oh.
That was massive there.
Big angle, drops a little bit of tire though.
We're talking about that line, and yeah,
Olsen definitely does a good job getting back close proximity. It's starting to get a little sloppy here, guys. Massaging in. Okay. So, let's look at the replay here.
What we saw was, or the analysis was...
All right, the initiation was good. Gets into outer zone 1. Olsen, proximity, not so much there. Let's see if he closes the gap. Okay, now, I do see over there we saw a little bit of a disruptance. Aasbo, I'm pretty sure, dropped the tire. Now, at this event in St. Louis, they were really, really, really harsh on people for dropping a tire there. But now we have the one more time battle of Aasbo and Olsen. Alright, and now whoever wins this goes against Odi Bachis. Alright, so we saw the other, the original battle. Split decision between everyone. Everyone went a different way with it. So here we are again. We're going to battle it one more time. Simon Olsen and Aasbo. And here we go. Frederick Aasbo gets into outer zone 1. Looks like he drops the tire a little bit. Gets back online. Transitions. Lights off. Olsen. A little bit shallower of a line, but that could be due to Aasbo getting a little sloppy in outer zone 1 in the beginning of that run. Get a little sloppy there. I like that. I definitely like the proximity there. Yeah, definitely. Olsen is definitely confident. Let's look at this replay. Let's see. Initiates. Aasbo gets into outer zone 1. You can see there's, I'm pretty sure he dropped the tire. Pretty sure he did. That could have threw off Olsen a little bit. And Olsen does compromise here, but I think the compromise that's happening there is because of what Aasbo may or may have not done in outer zone 1. Gets back online. Aasbo does a good job of getting into outer zone 3. Here comes the transition. Really good transition. Olsen does a really good job of diving in. Finishes up the run. Oh. See the other replay. Transition. You can see Aasbo's getting into outer zone 1. And right there, I think he does a little bit of a dirt chop, which makes him overshoot 1 a little bit. I think that's what messed up Olsen. See here, really like the way Aasbo was filling out outer zone 3. I think is textbook. Transition, I really like the way Olsen does this transition though. Dives right in, gets real close, exceeds a little bit, gets back into the pocket. Good job by Olsen. Alright, now let's look at the second half of the battle. Simon initiates, gets on throttle. Good job getting into outer zone 1. Here comes the transition. Good transition. Aasbo doing a good job of getting into the pocket again. Olsen doing a really good job of getting into outer zone 3. Here comes the transition. I don't know. I think I'm with Olsen on this one right now for this battle. Let's look at the replay again. It does the initiation, gets into outer zone 1, not as deep as Aasbo did, but remember, I'm pretty sure Aasbo dropped the tire. Olsen's in there. I think he's right on the edge of getting in there, but he's in there. Here comes the transition. Aasbo brake checks himself really quick, I guess, to try to reposition himself. Here comes the transition. You can see Olsen gets into outer zone 2. Aasbo is as well getting into outer zone 2. Then Aasbo does compromise a little bit, comes out of outer zone 2 to cut the line to get proximity right in there. So I'm pretty sure that's what he's trying to do. Gets into the pocket again, lines up. Olsen doing a good job getting into outer zone 3. Aasbo doing a really good job too. Olsen comes in, sets himself up for the transition. You can see here, I think Olsen had better proximity than Aasbo did in outer zone 4. Really close call. Alright, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they're both really good runs. I'm a little, I would have to probably watch this a good bit too. Are they going to go into, all right, so they're going to have dual screen, so let's watch dual screen here.
Here we go. Again, Freddie's leading on the left, Simon leading on the right.
All right, so let's break it down. Fred, Aasbo's there. Oh, the proximity is way better by Aasbo in the chase. Aasbo is deep in outer zone 1. Olsen doesn't really have too much great proximity. I think Aasbo drops that tire there, which kind of messes up Olsen a little bit. Kind of reminds me a little bit what happened with the whole Dean thing. Here comes the transition. All right. Aasbo gets into outer zone 2, overshoots it just a little. It's a little bit deeper than we would like. You can see right here. It's a little bit deeper. Let's see how it turns out. No, riding on the edge. There's no problem there. Aasbo in the chase gets in, but he does compromise a little bit, and then he gets right back in line. You can also see Olsen's compromising as well too. All right, I can see that there's both a lot of errors that I'm seeing here. So this one, I can understand the one more time. I think there was enough on both ends, whether it was because of someone or it happened independently on their own behalf. I think that's what was going on. So I can understand why this one why this one went one more time. So let's see what the judges say. I'm curious to see what they thought.
Here we go. Slide them.
All right, so I'm at a one more time. All right, that's just me. So let's see what the judges say.
Left 4. Wait for the graphics.
Oh, they're the graphics.
Slide right.
All right. So Lontaine says Aasbo advanced. All right.
Oh, so we got one for Aasbo. What?
So Robbie Nishida and me both said one more time. I'm definitely at a one more time with this. I think there was enough errors on both.
More time, man.
And Chris Yule also says one more time in this case. So I definitely agree with the majority of the judges on this one. I don't know what Ryan's reasoning was. I'll see if he gets a little. I don't think there's going to be any information on it. So really cool to see that. I do agree with the one more time on this one. Again, that's why we have 3 judges that have their own perspective, and they're going to look at it and judge it fairly. So I'm definitely in agreement with this one. And even when I'm not in agreement with them, that's why you have 3 judges, dude. All right. So let's go to the second one more time. So this is the second one more time between Aasbo and Olsen.
I appreciate that.
Let's get right into it here. Aasbo is going to be in the lead.
7th, I apologize. So Aasbo will lead. And Olsen give a chase.
Now, because I'm on the RTR team, I really need Aasbo to get eliminated. So, but it just goes to show you guys that I'm being unbiased too. I think on the first battle of this whole, all the battles that they had between Olsen and Aasbo, I was with Aasbo for the first one. So, you know, you have to be unbiased, be fair. But good driving is good driving. That's just what it's all about. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see the second one more time. Aasbo in the lead, Olsen in the chase. Aasbo goes in for his initiation. Really good job in outer zone 1. Look at all that. Good job in outer zone 1. Here comes the transition. Good transition. Good job in outer zone 2. Look at Olsen. He is right there. He is not playing any games, dude. Really good job from Aasbo. Filling out outer. Oh! Man. It was almost perfect, Jared. Almost. Let's watch the replay here. We have Aasbo initiates. You can see outer zone run, outer zone 1 right there. Aasbo gets right into it. Olsen doing a good job. Give me the proximity, man. Olsen's doing a great job. Good job lighting off. Here they are. Here comes a transition. All right, here comes a transition. Now you can already see Aasbo's in outer zone 2. But you can see Olsen is in outer zone 2, but I can already tell right here that if he gets on throttle, he's probably going to come out of outer zone 2. So this is a compromise. He's going to get dinged for this.
And this is a much cleaner, much better job.
Aasbo doing a good job in leaving outer zone 2, going into outer zone 3. Olsen doing a bang-up job in the chase. Olsen, you're doing great, bud. I don't know if you're going to see this, but this is awesome.
Great job.
Good job. Does a good job of filling outer zone 3. I thought it looked like he was going to come out early, but it wasn't. Good job in the lead. Here comes a transition, and then you can see Olsen does a really good dive. I'm about this dive. I'm about the aggressiveness. I like that. But that's a little bit too much. I think we got a little bit of a boop there. Boop. And if he would have stayed on throttle, he probably would have spun or something. The car just wasn't where he wanted it to be.
Just barely misses Aasbo on the transition back around. Then they bump,
So,
and he comes out of drift.
I would think that Aasbo has the advantage here based off of a little bit of shallowness in outer zone 2 by Olsen, and then this error right here when he transitions, comes out, pulls out of angle, doesn't straighten up, but that is definitely a correction there. So definitely can see how right now Aasbo has the advantage. Now let's watch the second half of this battle.
You gotta stay elevated in order to defeat who you just went against. You gotta learn from the driver's mistake.
You got Odie right there, super pumped.
So who's going
now Odie won this event, Formula Drift St. Louis. He won that round, and we're gonna do a journey to the top of the podium. On that too, so you guys make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Alright, anyway, going into the second half of this battle, the final battle. Alright, Olsen is in the lead, Aasbo is in the chase. Olsen comes in, does the initiation, does a really good job here of getting outer zone 1. Here comes the transition. Ooh, you can see Aasbo compromises a little bit, cuts the line, gets back into the pocket. Also, gets into the wall. D-beads a tire, keeps on going. Here comes the transition. Olsen, big ups to him for staying in it. Aasbo, look at Aasbo. Bruh. Now, this is awesome because I don't know whether you guys know or not, but they're both from Norway. I'm sure they're boys. I can imagine that this is pretty special for both of them. But
the way that outside zone 4 is judged is going to
I'm pretty sure Aasbo's going to run away with this one. Here comes the initiation. Aasbo is there, bro. He is there. He is there. He is in the neighborhood. See here. Here comes the transition. Aasbo, I think, kind of messes that transition just a little bit. Olsen does a really good job going into outer zone 2. You can see just by this angle, you can see as soon as Aasbo lights up or gets on throttle, it's going to push him out of that box or out of that zone. Gets on the throttle, you can see. So this is a compromise. All right, so they're going to ding him for that. Then he gets back onto the line again, puts a little bit left foot brake to push his car back to line back up where he needs to be. You can see he's roasting him right there. Gets back into where he needs to be, so that is very impressive. You can see a good job there. Now that's where Olsen hits the wall, the K-rail, D-beads a tire.
Great execution.
Transition.
Beautiful mimic from Aasbo there.
Aasbo is just there, man. Aasbo is just there. Let's look at this replay here. Olsen again goes into outer zone 2. It's kind of funny. I see the brakes light up. So I know in the first battle we had one of the judges say, "Oh, well, he left foot brake coming out of outer zone 1." But I mean, Olsen did the same thing. I don't think it really messed anything up for Aasbo. You see a little bit of it there too. That was a compromise, I think, solely done on Aasbo on it by himself. But a little hit. Kudos to Olsen for sure. That was awesome. And obviously, I'm with Aasbo on this one. I definitely think Aasbo won this. I think he won it the first time. Let's see what they say. And Ryan Lontaine goes with Aasbo, Robin Nishida goes with Aasbo, and Chris Yule goes with Aasbo. So, this was a pretty intensive battle between Olsen and Aasbo. Again, they went one more times, the original battle, and then they went one more time once and a second time. Just goes to show you, man, you know, you never know how these battles are going to go. You got, again, I've said it before, you got to respect the judge's decision. I understand it can get confusing sometimes. I hope this cleared this stuff up for you guys a little bit. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, make sure you put some comments in the video. Let us know what you guys want to see, and we will see you next time on the breakdown. Going to the finals. Norway, Vikings. Hell yeah. Alright, where's Russo at?